A subject that Hollywood has avoided for a long time, the American family. That's been changing lately, fortunately. First there was Kramer versus Kramer, last year's Oscar-winning Best Picture. Later in the show, we're going to be talking about ordinary people. Now we have the great Santini, an excellent portrait of a family that battles together and stays together. The center of the family is the father, played by Robert Duvall, a Marine colonel who rides roughshod over his children, particularly his oldest son. Here he takes on the boy in a vicious game of one-on-one basketball. The father has never lost one of these games, ever.
Hey! 99! Don't worry, Colonel, you can always get a disability pension.
Don't goad him, Ben. Don't goad him now. Come on, let's play.
Last shot of the game, Jocko. Give up? Ha-ha.
Stay close, Ben. Now watch him.
What is Fanny, Ben?
It is I, the great Santini. You know, Dad, not one of us has ever beaten you in a single game. Not checkers, not dominoes, not softball, nothing.
Watch it, Ben. He's getting that look.
Come on over here. Come over here to Daddy Bull. Come all over. Get out of here before I knock every freckle off your face.
That's mean. Wasn't that great?
Come on, Jocko. You got to win by 2 baskets. He said 1. I changed my mind. Let's go.
Now, you're not going to cheat the boy out of his victory. Come on, be a good sport.
Who the hell asked you anything?
Don't you talk to me like that. No, you won't. Now, he beat you, and it was beautiful.
Lily, you better get in the house before I kick your butt.
It was just beautiful.
No, I mean it. Come on, let's go. Hurry, come on.
Touch that ball.
You better move, woman. All right. Come on, let's go. Come on.
He's beating me.
That's pretty brutal, but there is a core of caring for his children that's deep inside Robert Duvall. He loves his kids, but his military role has taught him to keep his emotions bottled up. Now watch what happens in this scene when Duvall wakes up his son at 4 in the morning to give him a birthday present.
What is it? It's a training bra. Open it. I've been saving it for you for 18 years. Looks good. That was my first. I wore it in WW2 when I flew with the Cobras. It's great, Dad. Thanks. They don't make them like that anymore. It's part of the old Corps. You're 18, Ben. I woke up thinking about the day you were born. I was on a hop, and all I heard when I landed was that your mother was in a hospital. So I went crazy. I hit 100 miles an hour getting there with the MPs chasing me, knocking nurses out of the way, running over the small children, crashing into patients on the way to the operating room. And you're screaming your head off. And I'm banging on the window trying to get your attention, bragging to everybody who'd listen that the toughest little fighter pilot in the world had been born. Then I ran down to see how your mother was, expecting her to look like some hell after punching you out of her system. Hell, she was sitting up, looking prettier than I'd ever seen her. That was 18 years ago. 18 years ago today. I was 23.
That's a beautiful monologue there. The great Santini is not much more than a character study, but what a character. At first, like his children, we want to strangle Robert Duvall. Then we begin to appreciate the fact that he does care about his kids. He's caught in a tight place between his heart and his training. Needless to say, this is an excellent film for a family to see together and really discuss how they feel about this extremely strong father. I think you're going to have mixed feelings.
I'm in total agreement with you. I think this is a terrific picture for everybody to see. I think it's very interesting that only now is it going into release around the country. I think it's open in about 12 cities where it's doing very well. But this is a picture that after it first bombed in a couple of test markets in the South, the studio pulled off the market. They set on it. They were afraid to release it. They sold it to airplanes. They sold it to pay cable systems. They know how to sell exploitation pictures. They know how to sell multi-million-dollar space epics. But get a nice little human drama that's about people, and they're baffled by it. Who would ever want to see this?
Well, you see, I think that's because the movie industry right now is playing up to kids, teenagers. Most movies are made for teenagers. Those are the ones that make the big hits, Grease, Star Wars, that kind of picture, Blue Lagoon. I think that the response to this film from the American public is really saying that the American public wants adult films, too. You know, adults want to go to the movies, too. And this film is really drawing families and adults in particular. We are starved for stories about older people. And I think that's what we have very mixed feelings about the Robert Duvall character, but we hunger for this kind of character so much we're drawn to this guy. Fascinating.
You know, they talk about family films that are for kids of all ages. This is a family film for adults of all ages, including mature kids.
Good phrase.
If you can follow that. As a matter of fact, I think The Great Santini is one of the best pictures of the year. 2 strong yes votes for The Great Santini with its brilliant performance by Robert Duvall as a father whose emotions are trapped inside his military uniform. We strongly recommend this film.
Sort of a special week in films this week. 2 excellent films about families. 2 films that really, I think, may mark a return to more mature entertainment from Hollywood. And let's hope so, and I hope the public responds to it. I think this is a way of getting rid of some of these kiddie films.
And those 2 films are Ordinary People and The Great Santini. And you know, Gene, I know there are people who watch television and they may never go to the movies or only go to a few movies. And they might think all movies are violent or they're for kids or they're stupid. Part of the time they're right.
Yes.
I think I could confidently recommend both of these films.
2 excellent pictures.